back to my channel. I just got out of the shower, if you couldn't tell. I just put some pink streaks in my hair. I don't think you can really tell it though. But that's not why I'm making this video. I am making this video today to tell you guys exactly why I ended up moving back to my grandparents' house and everything, because if you've been following me for a while, you know I lived with my grandparents, then I moved with my mom and her fiance, and then now I am back living here, and I have been living here since September, I believe. So obviously we're not living with my mom's fiance anymore, and he actually doesn't even live in the same state anymore. He moved to a whole different state. So during their relationship, so my mom and this guy, his name was Ray. I'm just, giving actual legit names for once. Be happy. So my mom's name is Mindy, his name is Ray, blah blah blah, we've been through this. Alright, so they met in March or April, I want to say, of 2016. They didn't get together right away. He was just a truck driver at the place that she worked because my mom's a security guard, It happens. So the thing was, I used to be in Girl Scouts, whoop whoop. I'm, Girl Scout. Used to be. Got out of that. But, so he bought Girl Scout cookies from me, and he was coming to pick them up while we were at this show that we were, having a booth at and everything, because my grandpa runs the show. And, so he came to get his cookies, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy and everything. He hung out with my mom the whole day, and that night he actually asked her to be his girlfriend. Mind you, they had just met pretty much. I had just met him that day. They had only talked a few other times to order cookies. That was their first time actually seeing each other outside of work and everything. So obviously my mom said no, she wouldn't date him right away and everything because they didn't know each other well enough. And so a week or so goes by and everything, and he asks to hang out. So we all go and as a family go and hang out. And that night they start dating, because my mom first said she wasn't gonna start dating him, and then next thing I know she's on his lap kissing him. So I'm like, alright, I guess things changed a little bit. And so they started dating. They dated for exactly 13 days, and then they got engaged. Now, my mom pulls shit like this all the time, so it wasn't that big of a surprise to me. But, yeah. So, they started dating in April, April 13th or something like that. And, or maybe that was when they got engaged. I don't know. But they were dating and engaged in April. And then in this past summer and everything, 2016, I was told that we would be moving in with him and everything. So we were trying to find a place and everything. And so we happened to find this house. Now, I knew about this house because my best friend, one of my best friends used to live there. But she had moved away because of, her mom and her mom's boyfriend at the time ended up not working out and everything, so they moved, and there was all that. And so we find this house and everything. It's not in the best condition, but we're like, you know what, we can probably fix it up, it's whatever. So after only dating for a few months, we all moved in together, and it was fine. It was alright. I actually got to have my dog inside, which was pretty nice, because since I had her registered as a service dog to help me with my mental issues, she got to, be inside and come live with us, even though the house was not supposed to have any dogs at all. And plus they said we could have her because we were fixing up the house. So we were living there for a little while and everything. And it's alright, but Mom and Ray fought quite a lot, and Ray would always fight with me. And so all of us would always get into it and everything. So it was not exactly the most fun of times living there. And then a day of my birthday, I believe, my mom told me that Ray had hit her. And so I kind of got upset, obviously, because you don't hit a woman. Like, it's not right. You shouldn't do it. And so obviously there'd already been a lot of, like, abuse, sort of. I call it abuse because it pretty much was, with how often he would go off and how much he would dig into us. It was pretty much emotional and mental abuse. And then he switched into physical. And he ended up hitting my mom. He caused a big bruise on her wrist from smacking her. And this was the day they were going to, like, get stuff for my 16th birthday party. And so mom came and told me about it. And it ended up the night before my birthday. It was actually my birthday because it was like midnight. So it had just switched over into my birthday. I had a full-blown panic attack because they were fighting so badly that I threatened to leave my own house on my 16th birthday. I threatened to leave and come back and stay with my grandparents until I could find some other place to go. And they ended up kind of just brushing it off, like pretending nothing happened and everything. But it still, like, affected me a lot that day, so I didn't necessarily have a whole lot of fun on my 16th birthday, which I've had pretty shitty birthdays the last so many years. Like, ever since I lived with my mom, pretty much, my birthday's been pretty shitty. And so this was no exception, and it just ended up not being that good. So after my birthday and everything, things were alright for a little bit, but my birthday is August 27th, and as I said, I moved back here in September. So things were okay for a few days. And then it started up again, like the yelling and just emotionally and not physically, but emotionally and mentally abusing. Just, it kept going, and I had a doctor's appointment to go over my depression and everything because I have very, very high depression. I've had it since I was about 12 years old, and it's not fun. But, so I had a doctor's appointment, and I decided to tell my doctor about this guy that we were staying with, my mom's fiance, had hit her, and that I didn't feel safe living in that environment. And so the doctor talked with mom and everything. She obviously had to file a report saying that I was not feeling safe in that environment. And so my mom decided to finally do something about it, kind of. She talked to the doctor. The doctor gave her information of places she could go to, like, get help. And so we went home that day. And I went upstairs, not wanting to look at Ray and everything, because I knew it was probably going to be ending soon. Like, we were going to be leaving. I had hoped. And so that day of my doctor's appointment, it was a Monday. I remember that very clearly. After I'd gone up to my room, my mom texted me asking me to come downstairs. So I'm like, well, shit's about to hit the fan. You know, it's not going to be a fun time. So I get down there and everything, and I'm just kind of standing around, so they asked me to, like, sit down and everything, so I sit down in this big armchair, and so we start talking about, like, what had all happened at my doctor's appointment, and Ray starts profusely apologizing, saying that he's going to change and everything, and I didn't want to accept it. I was pretty much done at that point because of all the stuff that had been happening for months. Like, it had just gotten to the point I couldn't do it anymore. So I pretty much told him that because he was like, I'm willing to try and work this out. I'm willing to, you know, get help for his problems and everything because we're pretty sure he has bipolar. We wanted to submit him, and he was all willing at first to get submitted, but he never did. And, so he was like, you know what, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to, like, put my best foot forward for this, and we're gonna be fine, we're just gonna stay a family, and everything. And I pretty much told him that I wasn't willing to do that, I was done, and I wanted to be out of there. So, that day, he left all upset. My mom and I stayed in and everything, and I told her that I couldn't do it anymore. And she at first was considering still staying with him and just having me try to cool off at my grandparents' house and everything. But she was considering ditching me for her fiance, her own daughter for her fiance. So that hurt, obviously. But I told her, I'm like, I'm done. I'm not ever coming back to this house. Like, I can't do it. Like, I cannot live here any longer. So that day I packed up some of my stuff and went back to my grandparents' house. And my mom, like, cried and everything and asked if she could move back too. So, like, that Monday night and everything, that after we had had my doctor's appointment, I moved back in with my grandparents. My mom decided to still stay overnight that night at the house, and she didn't move over until the next day. I still have no idea why or, like, what they did or anything, like, during that time, but she stayed over there. And, so yeah. And so then, after that, we still sort of, like, sometimes talked with Ray, but only because, okay, getting on with another part of the story I forgot to mention. That same Monday that I left and my mom was considering leaving, he was already contacting other people to come and move in with him and be his roommates. Like, he very much obviously was not willing to try and work things out because that exact day he got new people coming into the house. I mean, they were in North Carolina at the time, so it was going to take them a couple days to get everything situated and come up. But he already had them planned to come move in with him. So my mom was obviously very hurt by that, which I didn't blame her. So these people move in and everything, and we become actually good friends with them, and we decided to, like, we kept going over there every once in a while to hang out. But Ray, like, at first he still tried to be all like, oh, hey, sweetheart, and everything, like, whenever he saw my mom, and we're like, dude, it's not gonna happen, like, nothing else is gonna happen between you guys. But then my mom kind of led him on, saying, well, if anything would happen between us, and so he had through his head, like, oh, something's actually gonna happen, like, Mindy just confirmed it, it's gonna happen. And so I told my mom, I'm like, you are fucking stupid if you go back to him. And I told her, I'm like, if you go back to him, you know you're going to lose custody of all of your kids. Which, she's already on the verge of doing that, so she's definitely getting there. But yeah, so Ray ended up staying at the house for a while with these new people. His room was so disgusting. I wish I still had the photos, because we went through his room. It was so nasty. It was cockroaches, and the whole bed had, like, shit stains on it. Like, it was disgusting. And, he ended up moving out and moving to a different state to be with his new girlfriend, who he's already, like, saying he loves and everything. And I'm like, you know what? Go do whatever, man. Like, I don't even care. So, pretty much the moral of the story is that abuse affects everyone, especially if there's children in the house. I mean, I'm not fully a child anymore since I'm 16, but I'm still technically a child because I'm not an adult. But it affects everyone. Like, if you yell or hit someone or just are constantly bringing people down or, like, saying inappropriate stuff, like, it's not okay. Especially, like, stuff he's done is just not okay, and it shouldn't have been allowed to happen, and it was just not a good experience, and it just needed to stop. So I'm glad that I moved out of that situation, because honestly, I don't know what would have happened had we have stayed. I was going down a very, very dark hole, and I probably wouldn't be here right now to tell you guys this story. Abuse hurts. Just be nice to people. Don't degrade them or put them down or yell at them for the stupidest things or hit them or anything, because it hurts and it's not okay to do. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, I guess. I'm glad I talked about this because it's kind of been this thing in the back of my head for a while, so I'm like, I gotta put it out there so that people know. I'm glad this is over. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Like and subscribe to become part of my Kit Kat army because we're fabulous. I'm actually using a legit Kit Kat right now to hold this up, so there we go. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you all. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, stay strong, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Mwah.